Hello everyone, this is MD and today's video I will show you a step-by-step guide to tracking any kind of phone, and we will show a very nice technique for taking all of the input values for writing few line of codes. For example, I have taken a very big form. You see that the form contain lots of field, but we usually what we do, if we like to take all of the fields values at first, we select all each of the field and then take value. In general, what we do, let's we see what actually do for taking value of the input field. At first we may select our form field like this, and then you see that the field contain a id, the email. Then we can easily select the field like this, for example email field, and then document dot query selector, and I have taken id, so we need to hash before the email id, class id, and then we can easily take the value from this field like this. For example email, I'm just writing a variable for putting the information inside the variable, the email field, and then value. And now if we type email, we are getting the email. But to get all of the field information, you need to write lots of code. You have to select this field as well as all of the field, and step by step you have to take. And many cases it is sometimes difficult to selecting field with id or class, and it is some cases it is error prone. So how about if we take all of the form input values by writing few line of code? How we can do this? Let's check. To collect all of the form input value together, we just need to select our form. Just I am clicking the inspector, and if I click here, you see that this is the form. Our first task is we have to select our form. To selecting form, you see that this form contain a id. We can easily take the id. I am just copying the id. Your form, your cases there might not have id, you can use class or anything selector. I'm just taking the id, and sometime you may select this way, right click the thing and then going to copy this, but this way you can select. But because there is already id, we can easily select the form using id. I'm just copying the id, and then again going back to console. At first we need to select our form. We can easily select our form. Just I am taking a variable. Let's say I am giving the name of the field is lead form, and then for selecting the form we need to write document dot query selector like this. And then because we have taken id of the field, so we have to write hash, then we have to write the id of the form like this. This way we have selected the form. To prove the thing, we can hit enter, and if we write lead form like this and mouse press enter, you see that if we hover over, we are getting the form is highlighted. Anyway, just I am going back again. This is our form selector. Then we need to help of a very nice JavaScript function. The function is form data. I'm just taking another variable name form data. This is a variable, and then we need to type new and then form data. The form data is a JavaScript class, so we use new before the form data class, and then the form data accept the selector of our form. We know that this is our form selector. We have stored it in our variable. Just I am giving the form selector inside form data, And then now the form data contain all of the input values of our form. Now we need to take another variable, for example form inputs. I am just taking it as a blank variable, and finally we need to loop through the form data and collect the form value and put it inside our form input. I am just taking form data, and you may familiar with for each loop. I am taking for each loop, and then for each loop take a callback function. The first parameter should be value and second parameter key. And now I am taking the form input and pasting it here and taking the key as a key of input and value for value. Now if I hit enter and check our form input, wow, you see that we have successfully collected all of the input values of our form. Just typing few line of code. Very nice. Now it is next step what we like to do with the form input. Before going to making a custom data layer or doing anything with the form input, I like to experiment other forms with this code. I'm just copying this code and going to my sublime text and just pasting it here. So only difficult thing is we need to perfectly select our form. I'm just going to another form. This is a WordPress form, WordPress checkout form. This is also big form, and I am not here to show how to track WordPress WooCommerce. I am taking this form because this form is very big form, so we can show the thing. Now if I inspect here, so our main first task is we need to select the form. If we scroll up, this is the form. You see that the form does not contain any ID, but this form contain class. We can select the form using class also. Just I am taking the class name. This is the class name. I am taking the last class, checkout and checkout, or we can take both of the class. I am just taking the last class. And there are a lot of way you can select HTML element. Next time I will create a video how we can select any HTML element wisely and perfectly. Anyway, I'm just taking the second class WooCommerce checkout and going back to my editor. This is a Sublime editor. If this is a free and you can easily download it. Anyway, so our main task is, our difficult task is we have to select our form. Just I am removing the previous selector and pasting our class name because this is the class name, so we have to use dot. If there is ID you need to use hash, if there is class you need to use dot, and then we can specify the thing more accurately by typing form. The form is a tag of form. If I go back to my editor, you see that this is the form tag. So I am taking this form tag and then dot e-commerce. That means we are looking for form. The form contain WooCommerce checkout class. Very easy. Now we have successfully selected our form. Let's check really we have selected our form. Just I am pasting it, and if we say lead form, you see if I mouse over, you see that the form is highlighted. So we have successfully selected our form, and this was the most difficult thing for our this task. And now if we copy all of the code from here, maybe right now this is not lead form, this is a another checkout form, but I am just giving the variable name. It doesn't matter. Now if I hit enter and check our lead form, let check our input form input, and hit enter, you see that we are getting all of the values very nicely: billing address, shipping address, email address, everything. Now think how much time would it require to one by one selecting all of the field and collect the value. Of course it will take you a lot of times, but we are did the thing by writing few line of code. Now let's we check another form using this technique. This is another form. This form also very big form. I have already filled out the form for saving time. Now if I come here, so our main task is we need to select our form. So this is the form, and you see that this form also contain a class. This is a gravity form. I'm just taking that class. To selecting anything with class, we need to write hash and then name of the id. So this is the id. So I have copied the id, and you know that selecting anything with id we need to use hash. Just copy the code, and if I go to our console and check the thing, just I'm pasting it. Now if we check our form data, sorry, form inputs, now check, we are getting all of the information like this. We are getting our email address and everything. And you might have a question why the key name is not like the title name. For example, if we say that it is showing input 1.6, but this is the first name. This is because internally the form name is like that. If you see, this is the name of the input value, so we are getting the key as the name of the input field. But I think it is not that much problem. We can easily remap the thing when we need to use as a data layer variable. Okay, so now we are able to collect any of the form by easily by writing few line of code. It will hope this technique will save you a lot of times. Now I'm coming back to our first form. Now if we like to make a data layer, this is a lead form. We like to track this form submission, and like to we need to collect all of the form input values. How we can do this? So again I am coming cleaning the thing, and we need to use a JavaScript listener. We like to implement those code when someone submit the form. To do that, at first we need to select our form. So I am going back to my editor and just back to my previous code, and this was our form selector. We can easily take this code. I'm not typing again for saving my time. Just we can paste it. This way we have selected the form. Now our task is we had to add a event listener. Just lead from, then add event listener, and then the event listener required to attribute two parameter. The first parameter is the name of the event. Actually we like to track the submission, so our event name is submit. And then second parameter actually callback function, and inside the callback function we can write all of our code. So now we can easily copy our code, this part. But before writing anything, at first we need to check whether this form is available in our page, so that there is no error in JavaScript side. So I am writing if the lead form available, then we can implement this code inside our code block like this. And then inside this block we like to create our a custom event. To do that we can copy our code from here. Just we have taken this part and this part like so, and in the beginning this is the form input and this is the blank. We can take our event name here, event lead form, submit this way, and then we need to create, actually we need to push the information in our data layer. Before pushing anything in data layer, it is good practice to check whether data layer available or not and use a fallback. So we can write window.data layer. If data layer is available, then data layer is this thing, and if it is not available, we can use fallback javascript array. And then finally we need to push information in our data layer like this. And finally we need to use our form input and put it inside our push function. This input contain our event name as well as all of the values. Actually this is the code which was required for tracking this form. After submitting the form will refresh and we are not able to check the thing from the console. To checking that thing we need to help of Google Tag Manager. So we can copy all of the code from here. Before copying we can test the thing by, okay, we just copying all of the code from here. And now we need to go to our Google Tag Manager. From the tag section we need to create a new tag. I'm just clicking new. From the new we need to create, I'm just giving the name, for example, lead form data layer. And the tag configuration we need to take custom HTML because this is the JavaScript, so we have to wrap our code with a script tag like this. And inside the both script tag we are pasting all of the code. And now of course we need to select a trigger. Our case says all pages is perfectly fine. Now save it, and it is time to preview our form. I am going to preview. Our tag assistant is connected. Now if we fill out the form like this and submit the form, you see we are getting a data layer event lead from submit. And if we check our data layer, we are getting all of the information. You see that we getting first name, last name, email address, as well as all other information. Now if we like to collect this information and create a Google Analytics tag, we can easily do this. Just I am going back to our Google Tag Manager. From here, at first we need to create a trigger so that we can triggering our lead from submit. So we are copying the event name, and from the trigger section we need to create new trigger, custom event lead form submit, and then custom event, we need to put the name of our event. The event name was lead from submit, and save it. This is our trigger. As well as we need to create few variables. I'm just taking view variable. For example, if I go back to our form, this was our form. Maybe we need to collect first name, last name, and funding amount. If you need all of the information, you can, and credit score. Then at first we need to create few more variables. So I'm going to the variable section. From here we can create new variable lead first name, and this is the name of our data layer variable. And from here we can take data layer variable, and the key name was this first name, lead first name. And likewise we can take lead last name. This is our last name. Data layer variable. If you know this thing, you can skip the video and going fast forward. Last name. And then finally our objective was we like to take the funding amount. This is the funding amount key. For sure we can inspect the field and we can check what is the name of the field. You see that this is the name of the field. At the end it is TPN. So at the end this is the TPN, so we can confirm that this is the funding amount key. So we like to create another variable name funding amount, and then of course we need to take data layer variable. This is our key. As well as we like to take credit score. So our credit score was this one. So we have to take another variable name lead, and then data layer variable credit score is this. Actually I have a typo. Score. Now finally we need to create a tag so that we can send information in our Google Analytics. So I'm going to tag section and creating new tag GA4 lead on submit, and then of course we need to take GA4 event and measurement ID. I have already measurement ID constant, this one. You can directly put your measurement ID here, and then finally event name, the name is going to our Google Analytics. We can say lead on submit, and then finally we have to choose our event parameter. So I am taking first name, sorry, lead first name, last name, late last name, and then we need to take our funding amount and credit score. This is the fund amount, and then finally credit score. This is the lead credit score. So we have done everything. Now it is time to test the thing again. Of course, we have to add a trigger also. So we have already created a trigger. The trigger name is lead from submit. I have selected it and then save it. Now again, if we go to our preview mode, this is connected, and again I'm filling the form like this. Now submit it, and you see that our lead from submit event has fired, as well as you see that the tag GA4 lead from submit fired. And if we check value, which value is going, you see that funding amount, credit score, first name, last name, everything is perfectly going to our Google Analytics. We can also check from our GTag. From GTag, if we check the API call, we can see that first name, last name, funding amount, credit score, and everything is perfectly going to our Google Analytics. To confirm the thing, we can check debug view. So we can go to Google Analytics. This is my demo account, and from the admin section, I am going to debug view. From the debug view, we see that lead from submit event has fired, as well as we are getting all of the information. This is the first name, fund amount, credit score, everything. So everything is perfectly working. So this is all for this video. Hope this video will save you a lot of time for collecting form input value and tracking any kind of form. If you face any difficulty for tracking form and collecting value from the form input, of course you can comment below the video description. I surely answer your question, and of course I will share the code uh, in the video description. If you like my video, and you can hit the like button, and you can subscribe my channel for getting this kind of video more quickly. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Have a good day.